I am the director of the Masey Archive in New York City, which is a small, specialized archive that documents the history of the United States' participation in world expos and large international exhibitions. It's a multi-chaptered story that began in 1876 and continues to the present day. Is a fascinating one, so as an educator, I really enjoy sharing this information with academics, historians, filmmakers, and anybody who's interested in expos. History is a story that sometimes is rather bare-bonesed, and since the people who are interested in what we have in our holdings in the archive are historians, architects, documentary filmmakers, the artifacts flesh out this story. They put flesh, shape, color, detail, form, and sometimes accuracy on the story. And so in that regard, these artifacts, even small artifacts, can be very precious objects. Jack Masey, my late husband, was Director of Design for the United States Information Agency during the height of the Cold War. He was also design chief for many of the big exhibitions and expos that the United States participated in during the Cold War. We, in our office, with British writer Conway Lloyd Morgan, put together a book called Cold War Confrontations, which was printed in 2008. After the book was printed, we had so much interest in the material in our archive that we felt it would be wrong to close it down. So we kept it going as an archive. I would say just generally the most important change that I've seen is this, that the big world expos during the Cold War were often places for confrontation between foes, the West and the Soviet bloc, and the confrontation was done through architecture, design, and objects, and so forth. That doesn't exist anymore. Now the Expo has become a place where people can convene. Nations convene, people get to meet one another, and there's just a broader understanding of the fact that we're all on the same planet, we're all in the same boat. The thing that has struck me probably in this regard is this. An Expo is held at a specific place in a specific time, and the goal is to get as many people to visit that place during that time as possible. So that means that sometimes tens of millions of people will be visiting at that place at that time. And the architects and designers, which is a very important story, who are designing for these tens of millions of people, know that their goal is to communicate with each of these individuals personally, individually. They don't communicate with a group of 10 million people, they communicate with one person at a time. And in this regard, an Expo now has become an ideal form for public diplomacy, global public diplomacy, where we can just reach better understanding of one another and find creative pathways forward for increasing peace in the world. This is a story I like very much, and I like to share that with people at every opportunity. I would like to emphasize, I'd like to double down and emphasize again that expos are maybe the one mega event that's held in the world now where the opportunity to expand peaceful cooperation among people who may have come to Expo not really understanding each other very well, but there's an opportunity to get to know the other person, to find creative ways of working together. So in this regard, I think the Expo is becoming more important to the world today as we face the kinds of challenges that we're facing with climate change, and we need to work together. So if there's one thing I could leave with people, it's, support your nation with regard to participating at an expo. It's an important thing to do.